you some pictures of two people. And I want you to tell me whether they are siblings or a couple. Ready? You gotta think about it, don't you? Siblings or a couple? Couple of siblings. Jack wins today. Okay, next one. That's a couple. Okay? That's what I heard. Kind of hard to tell, huh? And this. What's that? Siblings? Here's the truth. I'm going to leave this up for a while because they're adorable. All of them were couples. All of them were husband and wife. It was hard to tell, right? But it just reflects what science has proven, which is the longer two people are married, the more they start to look like each other. It's not me, it's science. The University of Michigan studied couples who've been together longer than 25 years, and they took photos from when they were married and compared them over the years to current photos of them now, and they discovered something remarkable. That even in couples that didn't have similar facial features, like the same type of cheekbones or shape of eyes, that people more and more looked like each other the longer they were married. And there are reasons for this. Because over that time, we tend to mimic our spouse's expressions. We tend to laugh at the same things. We develop similar senses of humor, the same worries. So laugh lines and wrinkles tend to match up in couples. I'm going to ask you to resist the urge to stare at your spouse right now. There's more than that. The habits that we adopt, we tend to adopt together. One quits smoking, another quits smoking, and that changes your complexion. One starts to exercise and eat better. The other one starts to as well. Sometimes better. Sometimes. We go through the same life experiences together. The longer we're together, we share the same joys and the same sorrows and the same concerns. Everything we go through gets reflected in how we look. A couple's history is literally written on their faces. And this just tells me that we have a lot of influence, perhaps the most influence, on who our spouses become. I'm going to stop here for 1 second for everyone that doesn't have a spouse. This sermon is not specifically about married couples. There's something in it for everyone. So apologize, I don't want you to forget. But pack this away, because find the person you want to look like in 25 years. But nowhere is this concept of how much we influence our spouse more apparent than the story of Adam and Eve. We begin this series called This Is Us last week. And throughout this series, what we're doing is looking at these families of the Bible and finding that they're a lot like our families, with the same problems and personalities and dysfunctions. And we're taking a look to see what we can learn from them. What to do, what not to do, in order to claim God's blessing for our own families. So today we turn to the very first family. Adam and Eve. Now, what is the first thing you think of with Adam and Eve? Is it this? We tend to think of Adam and Eve first as the ones who messed everything up for the rest of us. They sinned, they ate that stupid fruit, and ruined paradise for everyone for all time. But I think Adam and Eve get a bad rap, because that's not all they were. Remember, Adam and Eve loved each other. Adam and Eve were the very first love story in creation. They were literally made for each other. It is not good for a man to be alone, God says. God creates all of creation and plops Adam in the middle of it, and the first thing he says isn't good, is that he is alone. God says, I will create a helper for him, a companion suited to his needs. God made Adam and Eve to be each other's companions, to love each other, to keep each other from being alone. I want to point out something, though, with this word, helper. Matt, you're in construction. You are the helper, I assume. And he's the one that you sent to go get the tools, to hold the stick, to carry the heavy thing. It's your little helper. It's often Jacob, isn't it? That's not what this word means. The Hebrew word that gets translated as helper is air. And in the Bible, the word is air. When it is used in this case to refer to Eve, and in most every other case, it's used to refer to God. And how God relates to us. The Izer is much more than a gopher. The Izer is the one who performs vitally important acts of rescue and support. It's not a subordinate word. It's quite the opposite. But rescue from what? What's the first thing God said wasn't good? Being alone. So I'm going to create for him someone who will save him from that, someone who will keep him from being alone. And so he knocks him out, plucks a rib, makes Eve. Doesn't make her out of the dirt. Flesh from flesh, bone from bone. Because he wanted them to be that intimate. For this reason, man should leave his father and mother and cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Right? That one flesh is way more than physical intimacy. It's an intimacy of knowing that person better and more deeply than any other relationship. That is an Izer. You see, we were made for connection. It's not good for us to be alone. We get into trouble when we're alone, don't we? We were made for connection, and this relationship was made because we need to be connected to each other and to God. And the connection between husbands and wives was the closest thing God could make to illustrate his connection to us. So the longer we're married, the more we will start looking alike. Because the more one we get, ideally. But it's not just that we look like each other. See, if we do it right, we'll both start looking like Jesus. See, Adam and Eve, in this story, they do show us that we, as spouses, have the most influence on our spouses. Either to bring them closer to God or to turn from Him. See, we blame Eve for the fall. Well, that's wrong. Adam and Eve fell together. He could have said, well, no, let's hold off. God said, and He's been good to us so far, so let's trust Him. They could have had a talk about it. They didn't. They sinned together. And ruined everything for all of us. But they did it together. And every couple faces temptation. From the littlest white lies to the most devastating sins. Adam and Eve remind us that we're meant to be each other's heir. We're meant to help each other from being alone, from severing that connection with each other and with God. We're supposed to use our connection to each other to help us stay connected with God. And when we don't, we fall. So if we want God's blessing on our families, then it's vitally important that we follow God together. And it's not easy. We don't always feel like it. But if we're following Jesus, if we're choosing to say and do those things that help us bring us closer to God, well, then we have a greater chance of growing closer together. We have a greater chance of being one in the way that God wants us to be. One with each other, one with Him, and that leads to blessing. But that doesn't always work out, does it? I know I'm speaking to people who are happily married for a very long time. I know I'm speaking to people who used to be. I know I'm speaking to people who weren't. And who aren't yet. Here's the thing. We're all going to fail. We're all going to fall. Remember, this is a love story. And in love stories, there is always grace. Always grace. God shows Adam and Eve grace. He does. We tend to think, what a horrible punishment, being kicked out of the garden, but God does not leave them alone, does He? He makes clothes for them so that they won't have to feel ashamed. He gives them land to work so they won't starve to death. He protects them. And He remains in a relationship with them. They still worship God. They teach their kids to worship God. Those kids don't do it right, but that's for next week. God hasn't forsaken them. He hasn't severed that connection. He's protected them from eating from that other fruit, being lost forever. See, in every good love story, there's grace. Yeah, they might have screwed up for the rest of us, but Jesus said it right for all of us. See, it's the grace of Jesus Christ that makes up for all of those times when we have failed to be each other's heir, when we have failed to see God as our help and rescue. See, Jesus comes as the ultimate heir. To make that connection with God strong again. To make it right again. And He's our heir even when our spouses aren't. When they can't be, when they aren't there yet, But when they refuse, He is our Isaiah, no matter what. That's grace. So I want to encourage you in that. Because the message here is for spouses. Be each other's Isaiah. For those who don't have spouses, look for that other Isaiah. That's a great benchmark to hold people up against. But look to God. Let Him be your Isaiah. In your singleness, in your widowhood, in your marriage. Because the closer we get to God, the closer we will naturally come to each other. So show each other grace. Adam and Eve went on to live in grace. They raised a family together. And they lived a long, long time together. Adam died at 930. They must have been twins by then. Well, look, we have the strongest influence on the people that we're married to. We have a really strong influence on the people we're close to. So let's use that influence to encourage each other in following Christ. Let's use that influence to be generous with grace so that we don't leave each other feeling alone. Let us devote ourselves to growing closer to God, because that will bring us closer to each other. And then we will find that if we stick to it long enough, spouses, you won't just look like each other. You'll look like Jesus.